Alright, Dragon Warrior 3 Wednesday. So yesterday I was going to talk about, I talk about the working from home experience. And today I want to talk about 3 dogs that I helped rescue. So probably back in October last year, 2020, me and my wife, my family adopted 2 dogs from the shelter because they were from the same, what is it? No, I can't remember. The kennel or whatever. They're from the same family. Or they were just dumped. They look very similar, retro arcade music, man. They look very similar. So we adopted both of them. Because they show us the male first, and I wanted a female dog because I have boys at home. And then they show us the boy dog. He looks like a lab. They just some kind of lab mix. They wasn't sure. And then the dog was kind of sad and scared, right? It was like a 4-month-old puppy. And then they brought us the female. Also 4 months old. And you could tell when they brought the female dog out, the boy dog, he was happy, he looked up and everything. So when they did that, I was telling my wife, oh great, now we gotta adopt both of them. And the guy at the shelter gave us a good deal. Instead of $150 or $175 for one dog, he let us have both of them for $300. So we took them in. And while we walk, we teach them to walk and everything, to go potty outside, all the puppy stuff, training that you have to do. And in October, the beginning of October, we took the dogs out for a walk, the whole family, me and the boys and everything. And our lady drives up to us, right? And she asks us, hey, do you guys know, if someone else around here owns a German Shepherd? And, there are 2 other dogs that are just running around in the field. So where I live is a new build area, and we have a whole bunch of land. And those 3 dogs on this row, right, where the new builds could be, it was just around this whole bunch of dirt and grass. There's no buildings or no houses built there yet, and they were just roaming around. So I went over there, right, and I try to, get them to my house so that way we can call the animal rescue, because one of the ladies called animal rescues, but these 3 dogs, right, would not let anybody near them. And what we find out later, they were half husky, and they were all at least half husky, and one of them is at least a half German Shepherd mix. So what I did is my wife took the dogs for a walk. I went back to the house and I got some Costco hot dogs, and I just broke them into little chunks. And they didn't keep very close to anyone, right? So I started throwing them. And you could tell the leader of the pack of these 3 dogs, she started coming up to me closer and closer, right? Because I'm feeding her. And eventually, in that same light, within 30 minutes of me doing that, she's starting to trust me a little bit, right? But not too much. So she came up to me, she actually ate some of the hot dogs out of my hand, and I was able to pet her on the snout. And that was Tuesday night. And while I was talking to the other neighbors, one of the ladies said the rescue people are not able to come Thursday. And it was in October in my area, right? There's a lot of coyote and wild hogs. And we can't leave these 3 dogs. I mean, they're not the smallest dog in the world, but the hog's not gonna stand for that. So the whole day, right, even after dinner, I was trying to get them to a safe place. But that was when I was getting their trust a little bit at a time. I keep giving them food, and they would come closer and closer to me. But I wasn't able to get close enough, right, until Wednesday morning. I went back in the morning. I take my boys to school, and I went out there to give them some more food, and I gave them water. As soon as I gave them water, they were a lot more trusting towards me. I would sit with them, and they keep their little bit distance, right? And then when I would turn my back, they would come closer and just check me out. They would sniff me and everything. And I start to walk away, and they would run after me, but still keeping their distance. So what happened was Wednesday I was still working at home, and I was still trying to help these dogs. I took a break, take my lunch, I just go out and see them. And one of the times I went to see them, I bought a little squeaky toy. So that way, I might have to run for this one. Because you're going to keep me one at a time. I'm going to die quicker. They would come closer to me, and by Wednesday evening, right after I get off work, I was they would trust me even more because I'm the only person they see. Oh, great, I'm gonna die here. I'm gonna have to finish this tomorrow. But what happens was so some new builds at the house, right? They walk away from me, and and I would walk just to see where they were going, right? I saw them, they walked down the street, so I drove my car closer, and there was an open home there, like it was just newly built, right? So I went in there, and the dogs almost followed me inside the house, okay? So I went to the backyard, you know, I opened the back gate, right? I walked out the backyard, and they were just right there looking at me. So I'm like, you know what I did? I'm gonna try to see if I could lure them inside. So I went back inside the yard to the house, right? And those 3 dogs went inside this new home's backyard. And what I did is I took off running inside the house. I went all the way around back to the gate and I closed it. I trapped those 3 dogs in that new person's new house yard. And I was at then on, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna bring my food here and water, and I'm gonna see how I can get these dogs to my house. And I wasn't able to. In the middle of all this, the company that built that home, they had people. The 2 people came down and asked me what I was doing there. So I told them the story, right? And they told me like, oh, that's fine, but like the house is actually being closed tomorrow. And I told them like, you know what? I already got the animal rescue people on the phone. I'm gonna definitely get these dogs out of this yard today. And what they did, so the animal rescue dog, the dog people came, the dog shelter came, and they got them out. So it took me at least like a whole day just to take 3 dogs. And I thought that was a really cool story, you know, because you know I never done that before. That always remind me another YouTube channel I watch all the time, Hooks for Paws, and I watch that all the time, right? It makes me feel like that dude on that YouTube channel. I can see exactly the stuff that he gone through, and I love every minute of it. The whole time I was bonding with the dogs and everything. It was 2 females and 1 male, and the male one is the one that I actually fostered for a while. They're half husky, half German shepherd, and once you get to know him and once he gets to know you, he's the coolest dog in the world. He is so friendly. All he want to do is play, no matter what animal he comes across, cats, other dogs, anyone we see when we walk, right? He would love to say hello. He's never aggressive. He never barks at anything. You know, I'm just so glad that I could help those animals out before, you know, a hawk or coyote got them. But I'll see you guys tomorrow.